Hi, and welcome to the new student orientation with Quantum Activations. And I am your mentor, Julie Renee. I'm going to be introducing you to your classes. And you're on this particular video because you are a new student and you are wanting to have things go well for you when you join the class. And so we're going to go through things that people sometimes have a question about and just take you through what it would feel like to be in a class so that you know what's going on as you enter your training. The first thing that we do on a call is we go into our love wisdom affirmation and then an opening blessing. So let's do that together just to get comfortable with that. The love wisdom affirmation is part of a much larger love wisdom work from the Illumination Rosary, which is my work. I am free to live a life of spiritual freedom and full self-expression, liberated in love, gratitude, and mastery in this body, here and now. My spirit is limitless. I am responsible for any limits I experience in this body and have complete access to the divine through prayer and contemplation to release myself from any human bonds I have worn as spiritual clothing that no longer resonate with my essence. And then we're going to sing a Sanskrit chant. This is the one we normally do. Sometimes we do the Triambakam mantra. We're going to be doing blessings and chants and clearings from different spiritual traditions. So you'll know that we're very all-inclusive, that this is not about religion. This is about the oneness that we're all part of as humans on the planet. Vakaratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurme Devo Sarva Kayeshu Sarvada. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parad Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Dum Durgaye Namah. Om Aim Saraswati Swa. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And then we typically are moving into a demonstration on the quantum pump and muscle testing. And I'm going to come on the screen now and talk to you a little bit about the quantum pump and muscle testing so that you understand what we're up to. So the quantum pump actually is accessing the quantum pleasure field. This is not an energy healing. This is actually rearranging the way the particles are vibrating in your field. So there are two kinds of physics. There's Newtonian physics and there's quantum physics. Newtonian physics over here says there's gravity, there's the apple falling from the tree, there's what you see is what you get. And it's typically what people are talking about when they're studying physics. They're studying Newtonian physics, defined in 1918, around for hundreds and hundreds of years. Quantum physics is described and defined as we are all part of a field of particles vibrating. Based on how those minute particles are vibrating, you get a Julie Renee, you get a vase, you get a globe. And by rearranging the particles, you get a better circumstance or a better result for you. And so we're going to be teaching you how to set an intention with the mind, seeing it as completed, and then pumping with your hand. And so this is the quantum pump. What you're going to be looking at is the elbow down, just neatly tucked into the waistline at the hip, and you're going to be pumping. There we go, very simple. Just kind of a dropping forward of the hand. And then notice that the hand is dropping forward, fingers are loose. Fingers are loose. This is not a stressful movement. You are not contracting like that. That's too much work. You're going to keep your wrists and hand on the kind of the same plane. It's just barely rocking. It's a rocking movement. That's the standard quantum pump. Any class that you take from me, if you just know the standard quantum pump, you'll be fine. The quantum pump works for everything. Sometimes you can get a faster result, but quantum pump is 100% results oriented. It may take you longer, that's all. This is the double pump. And so when you're asked to do the double pump in class, you're asked to do 2 simple hand movements, the right hand and the left hand. You can do it simultaneous or you can do it alternatingly. You'll learn which ones you can do doubles. Most of them you can't do double. There's a chopping, you can do double. There's a side flutter, you can do double. Most of them you can't. The platter is a definite do not do double. Double, why do people want to do double? They want to make it go faster. But when you do doubles in some of them, it actually shuts off what you're doing. So just follow directions. I'm really good at giving directions. So you just tune in and relax and just trust and listen. And then you can, of course, ask questions in the chat box. If you don't hear something, or if you're like, can I double check on that? Is that a quantum pump? So quantum pump, again, your standard quantum pump. And honestly, if you kind of miss it and you just get this pumping movement down, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And you will catch on because every single class, we do a demonstration on the quantum pump and muscle testing. Now, there are different ways of muscle testing. I do it with my right hand. I use the ring finger and the pointer finger from the left hand. There are people who do kind of this way or hold the arm out. There are all kinds of different ways to do muscle testing. The way that I teach, and if you become an apprentice, you'll be doing this way. So muscle testing, you're going to learn how to put your ring finger out very straight and very firm. You're holding it very firm with your finger, and then with your pointer finger on your left hand, you're pushing down. My name is Julie Renee, is true. My daughter Adelia cut her first 2 teeth yesterday. That's true. See, that test is true. My daughter's name is Bozo the Clown, and of course it's not. So, so that's what we're doing with muscle testing. If you want to take a class on muscle testing, we do that quarterly now. So just plug in. You can either just take the last one that was given, which you can do on a home study, or you can sign up for the next one coming up. Muscle testing also comes with, the class comes with charts on clearing. A lot of times people have some challenges, maybe some spiritual interferences or programs blocking them from being successful. It's often about owning the body, so you own your muscles. And sometimes people don't own their muscles. And so we work on that in the muscle testing class. Okay, let's go back to our slides. And in every class, you are going to see a slide presentation. So that's going to be very much the sequence, just like I'm going through here, we're going to do a slide presentation. By the way, I leave the slide presentation on open. So I'm actually working on it. And a lot of times I'll spontaneously add things to the slides, or I'll create new charts because people are asking for something. So sometimes people go, why don't you put that in presentation mode? I leave it this way, so it's an open, working, living kind of chart that we worked on together. Okay, so the next thing I'd like to just give you a tiny introduction to is the Divine Human Blueprint. You probably heard about it because you heard about me, and my big book, Your Divine Human Blueprint, really talks about the blueprint and the physical body, how the physical body is regenerated and cleared from all kinds of issues and problems. Let's talk about this. The 100% You book, by the way, really does do more defining of the human blueprint. So when we think about the human blueprint, we think about PEMER, perception, essence, matter, energy, and realms. And the realms are Genesis, embodiment, quantum, and amplification. So those are the aspects of the human blueprint. So perception are thought forms informing your body how to respond to your experience. Essence, or your essential nature, is spirit, soul, life force, and high self. By the way, we have a class on perception. That's 100% You formula. and the book is 100% You. We have a class on Essence. It's called Essence. It's an amazing class. Matter is the next part of the blueprint, and matter is what we often are working on. That's the physical body. So all the clearing and regenerating, removing disease, illness, sensitivity, and then regenerating the body, growing back cells, glands, and organs, even those that have been surgically removed. The technique that I've developed is called cellular neogenesis. So if you're coming into a class of regeneration, of growing younger, of the Year of Miracles, you're going to be getting a firsthand experience of growing back cells, glands, and organs, regenerating. Literally, people who have had strokes come back from really serious strokes where they can't speak, come back and are speaking, walking, and talking. A lady who had her colon removed, we grew it back for her. Surgically removed, grew the colon back. Lady who had failed adrenals the size of raisins on a PET scan, 4 months later had a fully grown plum-sized adrenal fully functioning. So just know that we have medical documentation. It's circumstantial, meaning that we're not going after medical testing. We're having students who are in medical treatments have test results that show, oh my God, that grew back. So that's how we're getting our medical documentation. All right, so we've gone through matter, and then the next one is energy. Now, energy, by the way, we have 100% energy. That's the energy class, so that would be a good class, a foundational class for you also to take. Energy are the chakras, the meridians, the aura, the halo, the human spirit access portal, the nadis. So anything that's fueling, providing an energy field, providing fuel for the body, sourcing energy moving throughout the body, that's part of your energy body. Then we go into, so that's the blueprint itself, and then the supporting realms, which we call the realms, are, and Genesis shows up in 2 different ways. So my baby who's taking her nap right now, Adalia, she's in Genesis. She's in new life generating. She's not in neogenesis. She's not in the regeneration of new cells. She's in the generation of new cells. But most of us will be in the regeneration, the cellular neogenesis, meaning the creation of new cells. And we can create new cells from cells that are in very poor condition, or we can grow entirely new cells if there's something that's been surgically removed. So we can do both. And that whole process, there's 2 different ways that it shows up, but that's called cellular neogenesis. So either, repairing a thyroid that's there and regenerating all the cells to get the thyroid working at 100%, or growing back a thyroid that's been surgically removed where there are no cells present and where the cells that are present are in the human blueprint. Now, if you would like to read more about some of the things that I brought in, I'd like to show you where you can find that on the website. So you're going to go to julierenee.com, and you're going to go to About, and just click on, oops, sorry. My screens are, I've got 3 screens open here. Okay, so we're going to go, let's get that up here. We're going to go to About. And in About, innovations in the quantum field. So when you want to read about more of a definition of what we're talking about, cellular neogenesis, DNA obliteration, what spiritual parasites and pests are, a definition of curse and removal techniques, quantum field techniques for wealth, cellular regeneration and revitalization, anti-aging, replacing cosmetic surgeries. So here you have a page which just gives you a short description or a definition of everything that we're talking about. So if you want to learn a little bit more about, say, cellular neogenesis, that would be the page that you would go to, julierenee.com, About and Innovations. So you could read about them on the julierenee.com page. Okay, so let's see. So we've covered cellular neogenesis, so Genesis, which is the first realm. The second realm is the realm or field, realm and field we use interchangeably, of embodiment. The field of embodiment allows you to occupy a body. So spirit in body. The collaboration becomes you. You are a oneness being, but you have spirit and you have a body. And so that field allows that. That also is a field that allows other spirits to be in your body also. So embodiment, walk-ins and spiritual interferences, things that are not from this planet, things that are from this planet could also join you. And so those are things that we work on. If you're interested in those kinds of clearings, the classes that you'll want to be going to are classes like Freedom from Spiritual Parasites and Pests, the 7-hour training, the Advanced Anchors and Interference class. We have a few of them that are really fantastic. So you'll want to go to the website. Again, let me just show you. So if you're looking for, how do I learn about this so I can learn this language better? So you're going to go to the website. And at the bottom of every page, we're going to scroll down to the page, we'll put spiritual interferences. I don't know if I spelled that right. Let's see. So you can come up with misspelling. Oh, it does. Okay. So here we go. Spiritual Parasites Live. So that's a class. Freedom from Advanced Spiritual Interferences. So anything that has this word spiritual is going to show up in the search box. But just know you can search, you want to work on your DNA, you can search in the search box for DNA and just see, I want to work on my DNA. I know that that's really been troublesome for me. How to Change Your Unhealthy DNA. It's a blog article. Designing Your Own DNA. Simply Beautiful. Beautiful from the Inside Out. These are classes, DNA classes. So Simply Beautiful has a lot of attention on DNA. To grow younger, to grow slimmer. The breast removal, cancer DNA removal class is a free class that we do on DNA. So that would be how you would find a class or find an article or more information on a topic. Okay, good. Okay, so now we've gone through embodiment and we talked about spiritual interferences and how you can figure out if you've got some and you want to figure out what they are and how to get them out, that's where you'd go. After embodiment, you have the field of quantum, and everything that we do is all about quantum. Now, quantum is a buzzword that a lot of people use. I know I'm flying through this really fast. There's a lot to cover, and we're just going to do a really short interview intake for you or whatever. Introduction, that's the word I'm looking for. So I'm going to kind of fly through this material, but you're welcome to watch it more than once if you'd like to and catch everything as it comes. All right, so we're talking about the quantum field. Every single thing that we do is in the quantum field. And so many people nowadays are using quantum as a buzzword. And they've got part of it. I test some people. There's a lady doing some quantum relationship work and somebody else talking about quantum leaps and something else. And, you know, they've got a piece of it. They've got a little piece of the pie. I would say that we are actually working with the quantum field, the field of particles vibrating, and we're rearranging how the particles are vibrating to create a better circumstance or result for you. So we're actually at that 100% mark where we're really truthful, we're telling the truth, we're doing this pump, we're setting an intention with the mind, what the mind can believe and conceive it will accomplish. Then this hand movement allows you to get into the quantum pleasure field. So even if your frequency isn't so high on the day that you're working, you're going to be able to get into the quantum pleasure field and rearrange those particles so they're working better for you. So that's what we're doing with the quantum field and the quantum work. And hip hip hooray for everybody who's using quantum in any way that they're using it. I think it's fantastic. And just know that we're really interested in certifying people in 100% of using the quantum field. And so that's what we're really up to. And you're at the beginning of that. So you come into a live class, that's the first place that you're going to get the experience of, is this something I want to get certified in? Is this something I want to learn on a deeper level? And that's really what I'm excited about. I'm excited about getting people really knowledgeable so that they can create a world and a life and their own body of freedom, of joy, of good health and vitality, wealth, abundance, and love. All right, and then the final realm or field is amplification. And you can think of amplification as the law of attraction field. So that's the field that brings everything to you, or negative or positive. So whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're rehashing, whatever you're ruminating on, good, bad, or otherwise, you're bringing to you. Lots of other things get put in the field, sometimes just by watching scary movies over and over again, or drama, action things where there's a lot of violence. You can start really churning up a lot of negative stuff in the field of amplification. So you want to be careful on what you put in to your field. It's kind of like what you're eating with your energy body. Okay, and we're going back to our slides, if we can get them to pull up. Yay, we did, yay! All right, so that's a little introduction to the Human Blueprint. Now, in any class, you're gonna see slides, and this is gonna be kind of like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of stuff, and I've never seen most of this. And that's true. A lot of this you're never gonna have seen before. You're gonna learn a new language as you're training with us. That's why I like to certify people. I like people with me 1 to 3 years. Come into a class, see if you like it. See what the results are. I mean, we have miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle. There is a reason why. When you can actually look at something, name it, and call out its name, so to speak, and clear it, have a technique for clearing it, you can once and for all put it behind you, disappear it, erase it, and permanently have it out of your life. So this is what a chart looks like in a class. Right permission and ability. There'll be an affirmation or a statement at the top. Right permission and ability to be confident and certain. Quantum Health Activations Apprentice, removing domination, suppression, and control. This is from a recent free class that we did on becoming an apprentice. By the way, there are probably 5 of these free 1-hour trainings that are available to you, along with many other free trainings available to you. Let me show you how you can get those. So you're going to go back to the website on julierenee.com. I'm just going to show you how to get free programs. You're going to come right up here, and it's the 5th button over. It's programs. And see on this, we've got the live programs home study, quantum activations free series, men's classes, women's classes, and beautiful classes. Go up to the free classes here. And here are the upcoming classes. You click on this or the previous replays. And what I wanted to show you is going into the previous replays can get you a wealth of knowledge. New Beginnings, Unlimited Love, Quantum State of the Union Address, beautiful weight loss free training, Wealth Accelerator training free, Halloween training, breast cancer DNA. These are all free. Emotional freedom, healing the wound from global violence, ability to learn and master. So these are the training ones right here. There's a Father's Day in there, Student to Master, Apprentice free training, Mother's Day Apprentice Q&A. There we go. Earth Day Global Activation Replay, Weight Loss Replay. So there's a couple of the weight loss ones in there. So this is your page for free trainings. So if that's something that, wow, that would really help me to go through some additional trainings as I'm doing my paid class, so that I really get used to how everything works. I just encourage you to take advantage of those free trainings and to invite your friends. Those free trainings happen about once every 4 to 6 weeks. We do a lot of them during the year. I think we do 14 this year. We're doing 14 in 2017. So we're doing a lot of free trainings. Okay, and we're going back here. Oh, actually, before we go back to that page, let me show you another way that charts can show up. So that's one of the ways you can get a chart. So you can get a chart in part of the slide process. You can also get a chart that looks like this. This is a chart from the 100% Clear. Actually, it wasn't from the 100% Clear. It was from the Anchors class that we did in the fall of 2016. So about 6 months ago, we did this class. And this is what a chart looks like. So this is anchors, spiritual anchors that anchor stuff that you need to clear. So like a mechanism that has the definition of what it is and what the nature of it is. So the program, the area of the blueprint it's affecting, the nature of what it allows. So it affects essence, energy, embodiment, amplification, and then the nature is damaging, harmful, altering, and suppressing. And then what it is, and I describe what it is here, where it came from, associated with what specific programs, spiritual interference, etc. And so you've got the programs, the spiritual interferences, the other mechanisms that might be related to it, and then also emotions. So that's another thing. And then finally, you're going to get the how to clear. So you're going to get clear directions. These bigger charts, and these really happen in the clearing classes. So these are clearing charts that you get. Now, in either case, whether you're getting slides and a chart or you're getting this charting on a Word document, you're going to have those in your member site. And I'd like to talk to you about that right now. I'm not going to take you into your member site, but as you've begun now your first paid class, you're going to be welcomed into your member site. Set up an password that's easy to remember, and all of your classes from now to the end of time will be kept in your member site. So you don't need to download everything and find places to store everything. Your videos, your audios, your slides, and charts, all are going to be in your member site, and homework, if there's homework assigned, that always gets put in the member site. Also, if it's an approved apprentice class, there'll also be a transcription for the training. Okay, so that's how charts show up. You will, over time, learn about charts. And if you want to really take on the deeper meaning of things, there's a couple classes that I'd recommend. The 100% Clear gives you the charting for things like bloodline down to agreements. The DNA class really teaches you about DNA. The emotions, quantum emotions is, I think that's in July. That's an excellent class to take. And then the advanced spiritual interference and anchors class, you'll have all the charts if you take those classes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 classes. If you took 4 classes, you'd have all the charts, which is about 100 pages of charting. If you really wanted to really deep dive and say, I want to know all of this right up front. It is not necessary to know everything. You're going to have really nice clearings regardless of whether you know everything or not. Well, we've been looking at the website and talking about how to find things on the website. So I think there was just one more thing that I wanted to show you about finding things on the website, which is how do you get into the calendar and find out what's going on the calendar. So let's take you into the events calendar, which is what I had originally set up. So let's see, here we go. And so here's events. And this is really fun because what we've got now, obviously you're coming into an academy. And let's see if we can get this to come on. Hello, there it is. Okay, just had to wake up that Chrome. Okay, so here we are. We're in the month. This month when I'm filming this is March. And today I just taught the end of allergies this morning. And so you can see the Academy has a lot of classes going on, and I am the teacher, so I'm doing a lot of classes here. So I'm just showing you, this is a way that you could come in and see what's coming up next month. You could go to next month. Actually, we're out about 2 years in the calendar, so you can kind of map out what you want to take if you want to do it that way. If you're thinking, well, I'd like to look at what you've got coming up. Got a really full April coming up. It's very exciting. By the way, always on the left-hand side, you're going to see my interviews, the summits that I'm on, the TV shows that I'm on, anything that's coming up that might be free, speaking, some kind of an interview. All of that is always listed on the left-hand side. Let's see. Blog articles are over here. There's over 400 blog entries. There's video trainings, there's audio trainings, there's articles, there's every kind of training you can imagine is in here. So just know there's a tremendous resource here. Like I said, there's over 400 entries in here, so it's going to give you a tremendous amount to learn and understand. Transformations, I think if you're wanting to look at other people's miracles, you can click on Client Miracles, and we had a miracles contest last summer. We'll probably be doing that again this summer. And people wrote in their stories of all the miracles they'd had using the quantum activations. Adrenals back to normal, raised from the dead, brain healings, miraculous. So you can come into the transformations page. Meditations obviously are, I have 187 meditations. You might not have realized that. You're going to find all of those meditations in here. They're divided by categories, so if there's something specifically you're looking for, you're going to be able to find it this way. Meditations, you need to go this way. It doesn't really work in the search box. This is the only thing that doesn't work in the search box. You're going to have to go in and pick by category. Okay, and then if you're wanting to certify and you're in that first phase, which is coming into a live class, you'll click the certification page and you're going to learn about the 7-day fast, get certified in 7 days. We have one online and one live every year. So we have 2 weeks of training, one live that you can come to my house and one that you can do online. And then the apprentice 3 levels, those go on for a year. And we do 1 to 3 years of training. So you can sign up for the first year, love it, fall in love with it, and come into a second and third year if you'd like to. Okay, so that gets you around the website, gives you kind of a nice idea of how to find things. Let's go back to our slides. Okay, baby on the call. Okay, so I have a daughter who's 5.5 months old right now. Maybe when you're coming in, she's a year old. She will be on the call sometimes. Actually, most of the time she's on the call. And honestly, babies are a blessing. They bring angels and purity. If you're bothered by her sounds, I want to encourage you to ask yourself if you had the right permission and ability to make sound and be seen and heard as an infant. Did you come from a family where children were not a blessing, or the children were only allowed to be seen and not heard, or they weren't allowed to wiggle? They had to stay still. If that's the case, I've prepared a clearing for you. If you see her and it's a little bit distressing, this is a clearing that you can pump for that will clear that right permission and ability to be cherished as a child for yourself, to be heard and loved, removing domination, suppression, control, that you had the ability to be seen, clear. So you'll clear this and allow room for baby sounds and wiggles. So you have the room to have this happen around you. So if you wanted to do that, you could pump for probably 6 or 7 hours. Let me see. Basic quantum pump, 6 hours. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put that in here. So if you want to actually use this chart, you can. Basic quantum pump. Um, 6 hours. And honestly, I have to say, so many of our people love Adalia and her little grunts and groans and giggles and coos and fusses. It's part of being family. And remember that this training is really about full self-expression and living your best life. This is not a business training, and this is not a hard-nosed, hard and fast, everything's going to be perfect. Everything is going to be amazing and miraculous because it's happening. It's live. It's yummy. It's juicy. I'm just going to tell you the briefest snippet. I had the experience of giving birth to 3 children when I was young, and through some really traumatic timeline problems and soul family problems and whatever, I lost custody of the 3 children I gave birth to at 5, 3, and 1. And their father was running for state representative. The family was very powerful. I couldn't get an attorney to represent me. I was impoverished and lost custody of those children, and they came to really dislike and despise me, even though I just kept sending them love. And come to really look at that in the timelines class and look at, wow, so I did so much clearing. And as the result of all of that clearing, and this is kind of fast forward, so let me say, lost 3 children at age 24, then had 13 miscarriages in my 30, 40-ish age group. There was like 8 years of trying to have children with fertility and sperm bank and fertility treatments, and 13 miscarriages resulted. So it wasn't going to happen physically. And so for me, a lifelong dream is to raise children, to be a mom and raise children. And so I'm doing that. And I didn't get to where I am to then have a babysitter take care of my kids all day. I actually want my kids to be part of my world and part of my life. So you're going to see them on the calls. And you're being part of our family life, and we're being part of your miraculous transformation. So just know that it's a collaboration. And as little Adelia's been in my life, and hopefully a little brother or sister coming soon, so many things have improved and changed, and there's been so much I've become aware of by having an infant. So there's so much more, the trainings have gotten so much richer. So just know that there's going to be children's sounds on the call, and we're not like this has to be perfect thing. We're this, let's get you all this miraculous information in a beautiful way. So I hope that you love being part of our family. All right, and we're going to go back onto the slides. A couple more things I want to address with you that happen in training so that you're just aware that these things can happen. One thing is we might take you into a meditation, and the meditations are extremely blissful. I also may go into the quantum field and, go into the human blueprint. So you'll get instructions if I'm going to change something for the class. That's something that could happen. So each of those could be quite beautiful and quite uplifting. Sometimes, especially if you're in a longer class, we'll chant. I've written a lot of beautiful music. This is one of the favorites students love. So you'll be asked to sing with me. And I can't tell if you are or not, obviously, because we're on live stream, but I'll be singing, and I'll be hoping you're singing with me. So I've added a couple, just so you can get familiar. The Stones is really one of the all-time favorites of our students. They love it. It's kind of the mystery of the stones in Europe, these big ancient monolithic stones and the magic that they provide. A Call to Lighten. This is definitely one of our students' favorites also. Let's see if I can pull it down a little bit. Well, it doesn't want to move. Let's see. There we go. Soft the night and sweet the spirit, gentle voices call our song. We are wonder, we are magic, when we live beyond the veil. Humankind, please raise your thoughts, bring a plane of peace and love. We the guardians of the pilgrims, we the authors of the play. An Angel's Call, which is beautiful. And so you may be asked to sing, especially if you're on a long one. Why do we do that? Why do we sing? And sometimes we sing mantras, and sometimes we sing some kind of everyday song. We sing because pumping for a long time and clearing something really dark or negative the group can start heading kind of south, and the clearing can go slower and slower and slower. And by singing, Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urva Rukamivat Pandanat Vrjor Mukshiyam Amritatu. By singing, we lift the energy, we lift the clearing, And we really accelerate the clearing, so the clearing goes much, much faster. So that's why we sing on calls, and that's really for people who are doing some pumping on their own, singing can be great. One other thing, when you take a class, I really encourage you to watch the replay. You're going to get so much more the second, the third, the fourth time around. Now, the replays, you don't have to keep them anywhere. They're going to stay in your member site. And a lot of the classes, especially the regeneration classes, I'm going to say revisit this replay in 90 days or in 70 days. So I'm going to tell you that you can do another reboot, that it would be perfectly wonderful once regeneration has completed and you want to give yourself another reboot, go back to the replay, watch the replay, and do the charts. Now, there's a real great advantage in watching the replay and listening to my voice. My voice is a transmitter. It takes you into that quantum pleasure field. I'm one of the 500 plus avatars on the planet bringing this light work into the world. So you sit with me, whether you're sitting in the live stream live or you're sitting in the training 6 months later and you're listening to my voice and you're working with me there, doesn't matter. We're in the quantum experience of no time, no space. So there's no limitations. So you're going to get the activation, the healing, the clearing, what you're looking for, whether I'm right there physically with you or whether I'm right there on the live stream with you, because there's just, with the quantum field, it's no time, no space. And you might come into the timelines class at some point and learn about spirals and the progression of time, non-linear time. So how things from your future and things from your past are happening all at once. Hard to grasp for most people, so it's not something I expect everybody to get. Okay, I think we've gone through what I really wanted to help you understand. Couple little kind of just etiquette things when you're on the live stream call. You're new to class, you might not know this. You just want to ask questions that are related to the class that you're in. So you don't want to say in a DNA class, could you help me figure out what's wrong with my hemorrhoids? You know, you don't want to do that. Don't do it. Because I will be polite and I'll answer on some level to you. I'll say, oh gosh, that isn't really part of this class, but you could work on a, you know, this in this field. Like I'll do something because I'll always be polite and sweet with you. And just know I'm mother. I rarely, once in a while get frustrated. But once in a while I might say, okay, this is the fourth time someone's asked that same question and I've answered it 4 times. So, just know that I have a very large scale for patients, but we really ask students, please keep the questions to the questions that the class is about. That's going to make it easier for me. Come 10 minutes early to class. Get on and be on and ready to start. I'm always sad for people that they miss the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes of class because they've missed a whole lot of clearing. We typically show whatever chart we're clearing within a minute or 2 of coming on the training, and then we go through everything. But people will, once we do the clearing of obstacles, we show the clearing. And if people have missed 10 or 15 minutes because they just didn't get it together and they're late or they're 20 or 30 minutes late, you've missed a lot. And you've missed the sweetness of the beginning where we set the energy for the day. And it's precious. It's precious. The time that we begin to gather with, we do the love, wisdom, affirmation, we do the clearing of obstacles, we do our little routine, and the ending, which is a blessing. It's important to be part of all of it and to really start at the beginning and complete with us. Just that you give yourself, if you're in an hour class, you give yourself an hour and a half. Get a glass of water, a cup of tea, sit down, get comfortable, maybe wrap up in a blanket and get cozy. But you're going to be with us for more than an hour usually. Not every time, but usually. I really believe in giving you your money's worth. If we can get an extra clearing in, or I can do some what I call blasting, which is just really activating the field in a really huge way so that we can clear the whole group of something that we're stuck on. I'm going to keep you after class about 10 minutes. You're going to be in the chat box chatting with me. Some fun videos are going to be running of upcoming classes so you get a little flavor of what's coming up. I'm going to be responding to you, and I'm going to let you know when the clearing is complete. So you're going to really be in the class a little bit longer typically than the class goes. We never go past 15 minutes after the hour, and it's usually done at 10 after. You're not required to do that, but it's to your advantage to hang with us. I think I might have covered everything. So when we get to the end of a training, there's a couple things that I do. I do kind of class announcements. Student orientation, there we go. And, you know, I always request or ask if people want to be part of the inner circle. So I invite you to consider that. The online apprentice program, we're going to be certifying 150 people in 2017. I hope to have 300 people certified in 2018. Your Year of Miracles is really a year of miracles, 36 hours of regeneration, growing a younger body for you. So it's 52 weeks of support. And it's incredibly discounted, really, really discounted. Okay, and then you're going to see upcoming classes. So at the end of every class, in addition, you're going to see some videos. The chat box is going to give you links, and I'm going to show you this page, this is kind of the overview of the next couple months coming up. Now, this is for March, obviously, so if you're coming in July, this won't be relevant. But just know that you'll be seeing this on the screen. And then I'm going to come on and I'm going to end the class. And how I'm going to end the class is with a blessing. And the blessings change from time to time. It was St. Patrick's Day this week. And so I'm going to do a little blessing for us to complete our time together today. Thank you so much for joining me on this training call. I love you. I'm excited to get to know you. I'm excited for you to have miracles and really get the transformation that you're seeking. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you. May the pure light within you guide your way on. I love you. God bless you. I'll see you in class. Bye-bye for now.